Hi there, everybody. My name is Kate. Welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. Today I'm going to be discussing the LionsGate portal. If you're not familiar with that, that is a date, August 8th. Every year it comes around, and we are just now coming into it. It's a timeless message that can be listened to at any time. However, if you're catching this before the LionsGate of 8/8/2021, then even better, you're right under the sun. So the LionsGate, it's a very powerful activation for those that identify with Ascension or Starseed or higher consciousness. I don't personally identify with any particular thing. I kind of fall into the Ascension crowd in higher consciousness. However, I don't identify with any particular crowd out loud because I like to be free. I like to be my own sovereign nation. I like to be my own sovereign identity. So let's talk about what is LionsGate on August 8th. There are many planetary alignments, planetary refinements and divinement that are coming astrologically, cosmologically, not the hair stuff, cosmology that's coming from outer space down to earth to help us align and get in tune with our divine. That is the frequency of Christos, Christ consciousness, which I'll go with Ascension long enough to say that I agree with the unity consciousness, the idea that every single person is God's seed, God potential, and has that right to seek that and to know their own divinity through their expression of that and through their expression as they interact with other people who are interacting with them. And I will leave it at that, that I don't care to go any farther into Ascension or into any other identity. I'd like to leave it with LionsGate is a very powerful, astrologically, astronomically, cosmologically, a very powerful time for you, for me, if you choose to align with that energy. And it's still powerful whether you choose to align with it or not. I choose to go with the flow and reach higher divinity, higher consciousness of me by using Earth's resources, God frequency resources, angel frequency, divinity's resources as they're given to me. And space is a great place to start with that stuff because the planets, they give us downloads all the time, and science can tell us about that. If you're a science nerd, great. If you're not, great. Doesn't matter. We can feel in our bodies different energetic sources that are coming to us. And during planetary alignment, like now, summer is a very powerful time for Leo the Lion. And we started in July with Sirius, the dog star. That July 7th or 17th, somewhere around there, we started getting, that is our spiritual sun. Unlike our solar sun, which we know the sun's sun, the solar sun is very different from the spiritual sun. Sirius is the brightest star that we can see. It's a blue star. And indigo, if you identify with that, I don't identify anywhere too long. However, I totally get the identity of indigo and that song, if you will, that frequency, that star is very powerful and initiated a lot of light codes and activations for those that are star seeds or those that are just interested in higher consciousness, higher knowledge of upper college of me and we and what we're doing on this planet. How are we to be? How are we to proceed with healing, with feeling, and being everything that we came here to be? If you're not interested in anything beyond what is today, what is this afternoon, what's the Super Bowl, what's the whatever, you're probably not listening to me. And if you are, then great. Maybe you can begin to think about, I'm from some other star, perhaps. I don't know. There is no indigenous person that I'm aware of that has energy that's sourced, relegated just to planet Earth. We're all cosmological beings, and Earth is only one planet in a huge, vast cosmos of beings and entities and energies. And so we come from outer space. You don't have to identify as a starseed or as a light worker or as an ascension crowd or as an anything in particular. However, I'm going to encourage you to open your mind, which is what Jupiter expansive, Jupiter, go expansive. Open your mind and see if you can find the divine. Whether you go through a church, whether you go through religion, whether you go through a spiritual practice or baseball, I could care less. Just find your divine. It's within. Find it within your skin, and you can open up the warehouse the unlimited stores of this is what LionsGate portal has to offer to me after Sirius has come through and opened that gate already, that these energies are very powerful. It's summertime in the Northern Hemisphere. It's summertime in USA. Summertime is very powerful. Sun is very powerful. It causes a lot of activations in many of us. I myself am a Gemini. However, I have I have Leo, very strong placements in my chart, very strong placements. So sun is very important to me, and I have a lot of energy around me that is Leo placement. And so I identify very heavily with that protective energy that is so very alive, vital, and able to create change. And so bringing in that understanding of LionsGate, we're talking about a very powerful star, first of all, Sirius. It's going to cross over, where is it? It aligns perfectly with Orion's belt, cosmologically, up in the stars. And it aligns with the pyramids also, I think. I'm not really sure. I don't get into too much of the detail of Earth stuff. I like to take a global understanding and just get that, because the energy doesn't need to micromanage it down to the finite understanding of here on Earth 3D. I like to go very global so that I get the overall energy, an energy that's higher frequency than me, and what I'm achieving as a human being is always going to be where I want to go, where I would like to go with the flow of the know, because that frequency is always higher frequency than my human being can be. And so I look to evolve, grow, and know that frequency as it is evolving, growing, and knowing itself out there on the leading edge of thought. It's not a crowded spot for a reason. However, there's plenty of room, so hop on. So the it's a potent portal for change and to clear our energy, so that as we're approaching this LionsGate portal on August 8th of 2021, it comes around August 8th every year. However, while we're here, this is a timeless message. Again, if you're seeing this at some other time, not a problem. You can grab a hold of your energy at any time. However, synergistically, if we want to hop in on the trinergy of that and get our synergy in alignment, it's a great time to do that. That you can hop in and start doing those sacred prayers. Now, what's a sacred prayer? Whatever you think it is, whatever your team, whatever your advisors, whatever whatever state you are approaching your divinity, your holiness, your sacred, your true, your religious you, whatever you are approaching that and saying, I want to know more of me, that's the place to be. That will help you to build those prayers, those rituals, those statements, those going to bed at 9 o'clock and sleeping straight for 12 hours. Whatever it is, it's not for me to judge. It's certainly not for anyone else to judge for you. It's for you to take a hold of that and say, LionsGate, I think I want to participate. And your team, your advisors, your councils, your ancestors, your energies that are around you, and the energies that are in you, all of your lifetime understandings, if you subscribe to that, or you're out there in outer space understandings, multidimensional, you're all of it. You're not limited to just 3D. And so if you can open up your mind and really accept that and find that place that can say, who's going to explain this to me? Bring it to me. Show it to me. Tell me, how can I be the greater expression of me? How can I release and let go of old frequency that doesn't serve, that doesn't belong, and is going to drag me on in a very song? Nobody wants that. We do those things out of habit. We do those things out of old paradigm. And the age of Pisces is over. We're done with the restriction. We're done with the boxed in, narrowed view. We want to go expansive. We want to go age of Aquarius, where it's collaborative. We understand ourselves. And what's the best place to start is within ourselves. Because if we're ever looking outside of ourselves for that collaboration and we need that validation from another face, that's not a good place, I can promise you. And you only have to look in your own life. If you're getting validation from other people and it's consistently coming and it's a great thing, that's awesome. However, you have to assume that one day those faces may go away. And when they do, if you need that to get you through, that's a hard day to realize that, what happens when mom goes away, or husband goes away, or child, or cousin, or boss, or job title, or whatever goes away. So now's the time. perfect time to stay with our own divinity and play with that and say, how can I know me more? How can I get to grow and know me more? And rely on that. And rely on that God seed potential that is within me to grow and know that, instead of worrying about what anybody else is doing, instead of worrying about what anybody else thinks, whether they agree or not. Irrelevant, because God on the spot is bigger than any human being could ever be. And yeah, it's kind of lonely when we're out there in frequency that we're the leading edge of thought. It's not a crowded spot for a reason, because it's easier for us to be back here doing what everybody else does. However, if you are activated and lit up by this idea, you're one of those. You're one of those people that you have work to do, and you're going to feel best more than likely with taking that message forward, because most of us, as a collaborative society, human beings are geared to be very collaborative. We have dumbed down and numbed down and stupided out very badly, wrongly, and horrifically the desire to do that. However, human beings are collaborative. We want to be societal. We want to be engaging with other people. And we've gotten through a lot of instances where we've experienced pain, hurt, shame, judgment, blame, abandonment, etc. And so we've partitioned out, forgive me, we've been partitioned out, divide and conquer. And why and how and all of that, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about, let's fix the problem. Because if you can fix the problem and stop that divide and conquer thing, then it doesn't matter why it's happening, because God's bigger. I don't believe in reptiles. I don't believe in sinners that are just hopeless and never going to be retrieved. I don't believe any of that. Everybody has God's seed. Everybody has God potential. Everybody has the God equation within them. If you have breath, we all have that common understanding. It doesn't matter where you're born or where you died. You have that ability within you, because that's the commonality between all living things, is breath. And human beings, there's not a one of us that's better, not a one of us that's worse. We have choices that we're making that relegate us to other places that are dark and ugly and nasty. However, the minute that we decide to pull in and start doing the right thing, we still have to pay the karmic debt. However, it's far less if we stop piling in and adding to that karmic debt by continuing to pile in with wrong understanding that you are a light creature. You are a right creature. You know how to do that. Human beings already know that. It is our God seed, our potential. It is within us. However, do you want to be so Godzilla'd out that nobody can understand your potential, not even you? It's blind to you. You don't know it. Or do you want to be so in touch with it that you show it, that you're willing to be vulnerable, because you know that God equation, God frequency, the balancing act of divinity, whatever you call that, whatever your understanding of it is, starseed or not, astrology or not, numerology or not, Christian Scientist or not, New Age, New Thought, Ascension, Catholic, Buddha, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, do you want to be defined by exclusively one thing? Because that one thing doesn't go all the way through. It just doesn't. We don't have any tried and true theories and practices that work all the way through out into quantum world. And so you're developing your own space. You're developing your own face, saying, I'm enough. Because God equation gave me breath. Mother nature, intrinsic human understanding is I have breath. Then I deserve to be here, and I have a right to be here. And I needn't ask anyone else for that permission to be here. However, when I choose badly, I may have to spend time in jail. I may have to spend time doing some things. However, I don't have to be shamed when I'm making better decisions for myself and for humanity. If you're not interested in making decisions that are better for humanity, then you're probably not listening to me. It's my desire, my hope, my prayer that every single person would want to be breathing less noxious air, and that we would all work for the divinity of our own selves so that we can raise the vibration of the planet and get out of this, stuck, broke system that it just doesn't work. It's no fun, and it isn't fair, and karmic justice comes through. Whether I wanted to or not, it doesn't matter. I don't control that, neither does anybody else. And anywhere where we're trying to manipulate that and monkey it and try to, exact some revenge or do something tooling to manipulate, control, or whatever, That's not a good way to go. It just isn't. And so better to pull back and go with the flow. So there will be more videos coming about LionsGate. This is a very exciting time for Kate because Lion is, as I said, I have Leo in my chart and a lot of Leo energy that surrounds me. And it's a very powerful time, very activating, and can be very, very, very strong for anybody, whether they have Leo in their chart or not. And you don't have to follow astrology. You only have to follow your willingness to believe in something besides limited thoughts. It's never going to happen, because it can happen. Miracles can happen. They happen all the time. You have to be willing to believe that they happen in order to reach that divine, though. And if you're not willing to believe that, then you're probably not listening to me. And if you are, then congratulations, you made it this far. So there will be more videos on their way having to do with discussing LionsGate and a lot of other energetic updates, because there's a lot coming at the planet right now. There are a lot of decisions that are being made, sacred cow, and now's a great time. Whether you believe me or not, it's a great time to make a decision that is for the benefit of you and your divinity exclusively, and not for anyone else. Make it for the right reason, and you will be in your season and on your way. And whether you take 25 steps or 250 steps is irrelevant, because moving in the right direction, time is linear. That's human being stuff, and is limited to right here on Earth. And we are far more than that. So start moving in a direction that feels much better to you than what you've been doing. Change is good. Wear the team jersey of 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Change, man. Team jersey of change. Be a disruptor and be willing to change, and know that as you change, you're evolving and moving up. It's when we evolve, or we divolve, we change and we go down. Not that. No need for that. There's a reason to go up and up and up, and always be seeking higher divinity, higher frequencies. That's what we intrinsically know and what we can go to. We choose that other stuff because that's what the paradigm tells us to do. That's old stuff. Old business. So start new business only. Let the old business go and vote in a whole new board, if you will, and go within to your own skin and find your divinity, because it's right there, baby, and it's waiting for you to show up and be there and take command of your spaceship. It's absolutely yours. So thank you very much for visiting my channel. I hope to see you again. There will be more information about this, my friend. Take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.